他就回来对我们指挥。
We're very encouraged that Nancy, after giving birth for 1 month, that she's back to be conducting the choir.
我说 1 month 就是 exaggerate，
1 month is an exaggeration.
他大概哪里多久了？2个月以前，还没
6个星期。
所以弟兄姐妹们能够帮助我们，如果你还没有服侍上帝的话，应该能够像他那样，在抓住神给我们任何的一个机会，能够服侍我们这位万王之王。
Let us all learn from the example of Nancy, so that as we serve the Lord, we serve Him willingly and with a consecrated heart.
第二位我现在要给你们介绍，那就是我们的周传道。
I'd like to introduce to you also our Bible person, Michael Zhou. Pastor.
Right. 请你站起来好不好
Pastor Michael Zhou.
Michael Zhou 他是在这个教会蒙恩信主的。
He actually came to faith at the Richmond ECBC.
那么他在教会里受浸以后，就开始有追求，就到神学里面去读书去。
So after being baptized, he had the heart to study further in theology and went to seminary.
上个礼拜天是他那个硕士的那个毕业典礼，
Last Sunday, he received his master's degree in divinity.
所以他现在回家了，
So now he comes home.
他要回到 Richmond 圣道堂和我们一起来服侍主。
He will now serve with us at the Richmond ECBC.
你们还记得不记得我们教会从前有一个Samuel传奇？
Do you recall that we used to have a Samuel fellowship?
有多少人参加Samuel
How
传
many
奇？
of you have joined the Samuel
就有
fellowship?
一位啊，哇呀，很少的人慢慢就开始，以后到了差不多有30位左右吧。
The Samuel fellowship actually grew to about 30.
所以很多的弟兄姐妹非常因着他在这里带领我们，使我们灵性度里帮助年轻人。
And because of the Samuel fellowship, the young people have been so edified and have grown spiritually.
那么这一次他毕业了，我们特别请他到我们 Richmond 圣道堂来做青年部的传道。
Now that Michael has graduated, obtained his master's degree, we now invite him to be the pastor for the youth ministry,
特别是在提摩太团契，
especially for the Timothy fellowship.
那不仅是提摩太团契，我们年长的弟兄姐妹他也要来服侍我们。
Not only will he serve the young, he will also serve the old.
那我有的时候不在这里，那他要在这里去照顾各位。
In case that I'm not here, then Michael will have to look after.
6个月以后，他可能是全世界在这里服侍。
6 months later, perhaps he will go full time.
那么我就慢慢就退了。
Then I could step to the background.
如果80岁的人再不退的话，人家就说这个老先生一点不懂事。
If at 80 I still don't know how to step back, then people may think that I'm being unreasonable.
第三个人我要介绍，
There's a third person I'd like to
那就
introduce.
是站在我旁边的。你不需要，你知道你自己，他们可不知道吗？呀，我认识林弟兄的时候，那是刚大学毕业。
Actually, we got to know each other when I just graduated from university.
那么他是在 UBC 法学院毕业的。
At that time, I graduated from the UBC Law School.
那么他现在也拿到博士学位了。
And I've also since obtained a doctorate degree.
那么现在呢，他有2个自己的 office。
And we have 2 offices.
我不是给你宣传你的公司，
我是帮你翻译。
对了，你帮助我翻就是啊。那么我非常感谢主，他在我们母堂跟我同工差不多有30几年。
And I've co-worked with Pastor Sun now for more than 30 years.
我40岁的时候开始大温哥华圣道堂的工作侍奉，那么他就来了。
Pastor Sun was 40 years of age when he started the ECBC ministry.
带领我们诗班。
And I've led the choir.
他每一个礼拜6晚上在那里 这个带领我们练习的时候，他从来不参加任何应酬，他总是忠忠心心来带领我们诗班。
And because of the choir practice every Saturday evening, I would have to forego any banquets or public relations on Saturday.
感谢主的恩典，他现在是神祝福他。那么我请他说是为什么要请他？不是讲效仿的不好，所以他不快乐不来了。你看见没有？不是，他去度假去。
And right now I'm standing here as a translator because John Sue is on vacation.
所以我就请了林弟兄帮助我们2个礼拜。
And Pastor Sun has invited me to come to do the translation for 2 weeks.
今天早晨已经为了何牧师讲道翻译了一次。
I've already translated for Pastor Ho at the Mother Church this morning.
所以他年纪轻了你可以看见他还是有那么精力。我礼拜天早晨在母堂讲完了以后，再来讲了以后，我很累了。
Sometimes it is quite tiresome to do 2 sessions on a Sunday, but Pastor Sun can do it.
这句话我没有讲，我英文也懂得。以后我也会请他，有机会的话，跟我们请过他谈起来讲到关于法律的问题。好不好？
Perhaps in the future I'd be able to talk to the Timothy Fellowship.
各位在电视这个城市电视里头，也常常看见他在那里做专家开讲。
So some of you may have seen me on television on Fairchild TV.
好嘞。那么今天下午
This afternoon,
我要和弟兄姐妹所思想的就是诗篇第126篇。
I'd like to contemplate with you from Psalm 126.
我盼望所有的弟兄姐妹，我们一起来读，而且在每读里面注意神他自己的话。
Let us read from Psalm 126 and watch for what the Lord is going to reveal to us.
我现在请姐妹们念第1节，弟兄们念第2节，轮流的把这6节圣经念完。
The sisters will read the first verse, the brothers will read the second verse, and will do so responsibly.
好，现在请姐妹们念第1节，请来。
当耶和华将那些被恶的带回西安的时候，我们好像做梦的人。
弟兄们，
我们满口喜笑，满面欢呼的时候，外邦人就对说：耶和华为他们行了大事。
耶和华果然为我们行了大事，我们就欢喜。
耶和华，求你使我们违背的人归回，好像南地的河水复流。
流泪撒种的必欢呼收割。
那带着流泪之罪的，必要欢欢乐乐的带禾捆回来。
在这6节圣经里头，你可以感觉出来，有好几次讲到欢乐、欢喜、歌唱，因为有一个字是可以翻译是歌唱的。
From these 6 verses, you will see what is repeated is the theme of joyful or joy or joyful singing or joyful shouting.
一共差不多有4、5次之多。
There are at least 4 or 5 times.
弟兄姐妹们在这里告诉我们说，这是基督徒一个生命的流露。
This means that this is actually the channel to flow from a believer.
基督教是一个喜乐的宗教，
Because Christianity is a joyous
是
religion.
一个诗歌的宗教。
It is a singing religion.
有一个人问一个年纪相当高的一个老先生，
An elderly gentleman was asked this following question.
他是在台湾德高望重，好像他的地位呢跟大陆的周恩来总理一般。
And his status in Taiwan, in the government, would be equivalent to in mainland China 周恩来's position.
我们从台湾来的都知道，他到了103岁才离开这个世
We
界。
all know, if people from Taiwan will know, that this man actually lived to a ripe old age of 103.
所以人家就要问他，
So some people ask him,
他说：“老先生，你能不能告诉我们说，这个人生长寿之道
could
这
you
个
tell
秘
us
诀
the
在哪里
secret to a long life?”
所以他就用了8句话。
He then used 8 statements in Chinese.
那你如果要长寿的话，你注意啊。
So if you want a long life, you pay attention.
他都要起得早，睡得好。
Firstly, you need to wake up early and you got to sleep well.
你吃饭要吃得7分饱，要常逃跑。
And if you eat to 70% full and you got to run, you got to move.
多笑笑，不烦恼。
You got to laugh more and worry less.
最后呢，天天忙，永不老。
And finally, get busy and you never get old.
那在这里，这位老先生，他是一个非常敬虔、爱上帝的人。
This elderly gentleman was a fervent and reverent Christian.
他有几个孩子都是在政府里面做了相当高位，
And his children are all government officials and having high
但
positions.
是其中有一个儿子是在澳洲大学毕业以后，那么然后神呼召他，就出来进了神学院，出来做传道。
But one particular son, after graduating from university, the Lord called him to be a full-time minister.
那他的这个第3个儿子叫张基忠，是我神学里的同学。
This would be the third son, and when he went to seminary, he was pastor's son's classmate.
那我所讲的这位老先生，你知道他是谁吗？
Do you know who I'm referring to? This elderly gentleman.
张群一定不错
His name is Zhang Jun.
呀。那么他是这个江总统的那一个秘书长。
He was actually the Secretary General to, at that time, President Chiang Kai-shek.
非常的虔诚爱主的一个人。
And he was a reverent and fervent Christian.
在这几句话的当中，有一句话说是多笑笑，莫烦恼。
One of the points of his secret was that you have to laugh more and worry less.
今天很多的心理学家同样的就这样解释。
Today, many psychologists and psychiatrists will explain it the same
如
way.
果你我每天大笑3次，你年轻很多了。
On a daily basis, if you were to laugh at least 3 times, a big belly laugh, then you will get
哈
young.
哈哈哈哈3次。
If you were to laugh twice,
你如果哈哈哈3次的话，那个心理学家说你会年轻很
the
多。
psychiatrist will tell you that you will get younger if you laughed daily.
也有一个哲学家怎么说呢？
And a philosopher also said that
笑，全世界上的人跟你一起笑；
when you smile or when you laugh, everyone laughs with you.
哭，只有你一个人哭。
But when you cry alone.
所以你想吧，那个影响全世界上的人都和你一起笑，你的笑起了何等大的作用。
So wouldn't you rather laugh and make the rest of the people laugh?
所以，亲爱的弟兄姐妹们，圣经也告诉我们说，我们在主的里头要常常喜乐。
The Bible also tells us that we have to always be joyful in the Lord.
所以我们每一个基督徒，请你记得，你的脸不可像冬瓜的脸。
And thus, we were going to ask you not to, as a believer, don't have a long face.
当人家进来的时候，我们每一个基督徒不像冬瓜的脸。
Everybody has a long face,
我告诉你，你这个冬瓜的人太多了，他就你进来就不进来，哪个就走了。
newcomers will come and go.
我们就应该有像西瓜的脸。
We should have all faces that are round.
为什么呢？
Why is this?
因为圣经告诉我们
The
说，
Bible says,
保罗对菲律宾的弟兄姐妹说：“他说你们要常常喜乐，要靠主常常喜乐。
Paul counsels the Philippian believers, you have to be joyful in the Lord and always be joyful. ”
那今天下午，
This afternoon,
我要和弟兄姐妹讲到3件事情。
I'd like to share with you 3 points.
第一件事情，那么在这一段圣经里头，我也请你们大家一起来看。
Let's all read together.
这一段圣经里面讲到好几次是我们。
It refers to the collective first person we all the time.
那你就看见